welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I am Lisa Richmond, and this is Tarot Tuesday. So I am going to come in with the Lightseers Tarot today, pull the kind of general reading with our tarot, and then the Wisdom of Oracle. Then I have this deck, I've used it once before, but it's called the Blue Angel Oracle, and it's been calling me lately these last couple of days. And it's just got such beautiful messages in it. And so Spirit would like this one to come through to leave with kind of a general feel good. And then, of course, I love leaving off with a spirit animal from Colette Baron Reid. So the spirit animal guide and oracle. Okay, so let's start with the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And I'm going to call Spirit in. I ask my guides and my higher self to step forward today to bring in their messages deemed for the greatest good of all involved, from and only from the highest consciousness available. And may we be surrounded by love, ease, and grace today. Spirit, if there's any messages that you feel is deemed for the greatest good of all to come through today. So again, if this is your first time seeing this, I use tarot and the oracle along with spirit guided messages. Sometimes there's channels that come through. Sometimes it's direct spirit. And sometimes cards just come flying out because it is in your greatest good to hear it. So, okay. Okay, so this first card is No Place Like Home, number 50, No Place Like Home. So this one came jumping out, and so I feel like this one is going to be kind of the arching theme. They're showing me, like, again, a rainbow. Rainbows come through every week, but like an arching theme of what Spirit wants to bring through today. So No Place Like Home is just exactly like that. It's no place like home. Home isn't necessarily like the house in which you live in or the town in which you live in. Home is where the heart is, right? It's such a traditional saying, but it really is something that is to embrace your home within yourself. That shining and guiding light within you is your home. That is your sanctuary. Whether it's your spirit, your mind, your body, or really all, your internal knowing is your home. That is where you go home to. That is where you go back to for safety, security. Nobody else knows what you need other than you. That's your home. And for some, it might resonate with, like, that's your temple, or that is your sanctuary. Whatever it is that feels that when you go in and you feel that connection to self, that is the energy that Spirit wants you to feel right now, is feeling like all the answers in which you seek are the ones that you know within yourself. And that nurturing energy, that nurturing aspect of self is coming through really strong right now for you and for who you are and what you need. Again, over and over, they're saying nobody else knows what you need other than you. So do not look outside of yourself for the validation. Do not look outside of yourself for that sense of completion where somebody else can, like, embrace you and encourage you and you can feel lit up with them, but their acceptance of you has nothing to do with the validation of who you are. Your sense of self lies within your knowing and your temple and your home, okay? That's a really strong message. That's the beginning. So remember that this reading is going to embody the energy of no place like home, coming to yourself. It can actually be physical too, as how can you create your surroundings in your home to match the energy for who, like, your true self. So if you coming home to yourself means like getting away from your home, try to integrate how you can create your actual physical surroundings to match, to energy match with your true essence of self, okay? And by the book, number 11. So 11 is a very sacred number. Ones, if ones are coming up for you right now, by the book is a beautiful card of the 3 elephants. Now, Traditionally, this card talks about actual traditions. Following like by the book is not necessarily going and being crazy outside the box and like outlandish kind of stuff where you need to like break free and do something completely different. By the book comes in to say like kind of follow the steps, follow the guidance that's been laid out for you, and you don't have to recreate the wheel. Just keep rolling with it. Now, it does talk a lot about like traditions with things, but what I'm getting isn't necessarily the traditions, okay? As in, again, like it's all just energy in which I'm feeling. So the card itself is designed with a message of like by the book, really, like following by the book, the structured part of things. This is more like one foot in front of the other. You can see the elephants that follow each other, and it's like one holds on to the next and the one holds on to the next, because the leader, and in this card it shows that the tusks and stuff that I'm not sure, but the leader generally guides them along long journeys, and its herd follows it with a trusting, an overwhelming trusting, because that leadership knows exactly what to do. So now by the book, this is something that the energy behind this is you know exactly what to do in this situation. That goes back to what they're saying. Nobody else knows better than you do. So this is a really strong message, whether it's for the collective, but like I know it's going to really land with somebody or multiple people, because if you're having this question in the back of your head, like what now? What to do? They're saying you're on the journey already. You're already on the path. You know exactly who you are. You've worked very hard for this. You do not need to reinvent the wheel here. Keep following your path. Trust one foot in front of the other. And when you come home to yourself and you have that knowledge of self and you have that energy of that knowing of self, that coming home to self, where you can get real comfortable with who you are. Like when you move into a new home and it doesn't feel like yours yet, but then after time, you kind of like break it in a bit and decorate that fits your energy. You might do an energy clear and you live in it. And once you live in it, you can be like, yeah, this is my space. That's what they want you to do with your own personal energy. Is that we're so used to like fractionalizing ourselves to give little parts away, which is fun. Like we give back, but not without giving of self. Like it is about honing in your like zoning and bringing your energy back home to you and feeling comfortable in your own skin and feeling comfortable in who you are. And then trusting that with that center of knowing, you one foot in front of the other. Keep moving, because you know exactly what to do. Because when you're in that energy of home and that self, you just keep on rolling. You keep on walking, and there is no, there's like the resistance that comes in is that 3D part of our ego that comes in and be like, but what if? What if? And that's when we move everything into our heads and we start blah, blah, blah in our heads versus being in our own knowing, dropping into our knowing of who we are and one foot in front of the other. Okay. So that is the message for the reading. That is the overwhelming theme. So let's pull some tarot to go with that and see how we can get any specificity, any timelines. I feel like there's some people who are kind of leaning into the question of like when, because there's a bunch of there's a bunch of shifting and changing happening, and it might feel like the chaos of change is just that, is chaos. But when you come home to yourself and you are truly satisfied and you have that like, no, this is who I am. You can pick up who I am and put me in somewhere that's completely foreign. But when we know who we are, then that's stabilizing, that one foot in front of the other. You can't shake it. because we have that sense. You know better than anybody else. And you certainly know better than any paradigm that is telling you that you should be doing this, or you should have achieved this by now, and blah, blah, blah. And that's all old stuff anyway. We talk about that lots. Okay. From the tarot, what messages does Spirit have for us that go along with that? Woo, yeah. Okay, so there's threes coming up here. Okay, so there's again another card, a little trickster that hides behind the card. That's funny. Okay, so we have 4 cards. Okay, so the first card we have is the King of Pentacles. What a beautiful card to pull out, because that is just about the knowing of self. It is. The King of Pentacles, and again, like King, Queen, like that gender part of it isn't relevant. It's about that knowing of self and that confidence of self, of achievement, but not just achievement of like money or things. It's again, it can be, but it's not limited to. So the King of Pentacles doesn't apologize for their success. They don't apologize for the fact that they are where they are because they knew and they know who they are, right? Like they're not seeking others' approval. They are not wondering if they did things right. They are 100% in full confidence of receptivity and who they are. The King of Pentacles is like, I love this card because it's like that rejoice in that satisfaction, but that pride and confidence of exactly who you are, why you're here, and like that unapologetic, part of self that shows up for self, if that makes sense. I'm trying to find the right words. But yeah, so this is super aligned with the whole reading, with the No Place Like Home and by the book, because the King of Pentacles doesn't go off course. The King of Pentacles says, I'm here to do what I'm here to do unapologetically, with love, joy, kindness. It doesn't have to be like strict and structured in order to get things done. He's like, well, you know what? These are my gifts to be able to share to the world. And I full-heartedly, openly accept all the receptivity that comes with that because of the sense of knowing of who they are, which is amazing. And the next card is the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups is such a collective card. So you can see in this card, there's 3 of them together. They're looking up at the constellation. This really reminds me of like 2 of my best friends too. And we do a lot of spirit work together. So, it always, whenever this card comes up, it always reminds me of my girls. So anyway, it's about coming together for the greater good. So if you're doing kind of like a collective thing, and hold on, like the whole shifting of energy right now is bringing in this part of like co-collaborating. So showing up as your true self unapologetically, but that doesn't mean you have to do it alone. When you show up in your own self confidently, then you can co-collaborate, you can work with others, and that's when you can achieve the big things. But the important part is when you're co-collaborating and you're working with others and you've showed up in your most authentic aspect of self, then naturally you attract the same type of people. You attract that same energy, like attracts like. And so then you're working with people who are in the same vibration, not as you, but with themselves, confidently in themselves, so that this person can show up and work their area of magic. This person can show up and work their area of magic, put them together, fireworks. You know what I mean? So be in your area, be in your, like area of magic is what they're really saying. And then that will naturally attract you with the people that work in their like energy, okay? And then the next card, well, the 2 that we have is the 3 of Wands, which is another 3, and then the 6 of Cups. So this is kind of an interesting thing, because what comes through with this is The Three of Wands, she's standing there with her surfboard, and the energy of this is waiting kind of for your perfect wave to come in. Is like observing what's in front of you and choosing when your time is. You're waiting for your time to come. And when it's paired with the Six of Cups, the Six of Cups is such a nostalgic, like reminiscing about the past, good and bad, not bad. There's no such thing. Like thinking about the memories of your past, reminiscing maybe about time spent with another person or time spent in another time. And the Three of Wands, when she's sitting there and she's watching and waiting for her perfect wave to come in, I feel like she's really like reminiscing about the past. I'm ready to move forward on my journey, and I'm taking in the energy of the past, and I'm sifting through it, being able to observe it in myself, in my energy field, without judgment. Here's the important part, is when we move forward in our authenticity, we come home to self, one foot in front of the other, we start achieving and working together. Sometimes the resistance can come from old things or old relationships, old people, old perceptions that you lived by, that were literally a part of who you were. And this combination is really beautiful because it's like while you're waiting for your wave to come in, while you are like looking out and like you're about to take your step into the world, into this co-collaboration, you're also going through these old parts of self and deciding what is coming with you on the wave, right? And what you can lovingly say goodbye to. And so there is a little bit of the energy of like, as you're moving forward and as you're meeting new people and stuff like that, there's going to be stuff from the past that might trickle in, whether it's an old person that's coming back to re-trigger something in you. And the reason is, this is important, the reason why that would be is because before you move forward, or as you're moving forward, there might be other aspects of self that still hold judgment or still have limiting beliefs that are lingering under the surface that you might not see. And so say someone comes in again and you're like, sure, haven't seen them in a while, like haven't had to face this. These are old feelings like self-doubt, or I remember when I was with this person, or I remember when I was living that life and had those, and then all of a sudden you can feel it in your body and you're like, oh, there's still something that is holding that resonance within myself. That will come up because you're not taking that with you on your surfboard. You're not taking that with you as you go like and ride your wave. Okay? But it's not about judgment. It's about self-love. It's about you being able, thank you to the person who's come in and triggered me, because I didn't realize that I still needed to give that aspect of self-love. Okay? And like what's coming up is like maybe an old high school friend or college friend or something that comes in, or an old colleague that resurfaces, or you see them on social media and you haven't seen their stuff in a long time. You didn't realize they were on your feed still, or they asked to friend you, and then all of a sudden like all these memories come back and you're like, oh, and you remember that time and place, and you might remember the aspect of self that was hurt or that made choices that don't align with you now, but you didn't know better at the time, or that was your learning experience at the time. No judgment. It's that aspect of self you take with you on the surfboard and leave the situation behind. You say, I got you now, right? I see where you were confused. I see where you were lost. I see where you were hurt, but not anymore, because I got this. We're waiting for a wave. Come with me. Come sit with me. I love you. And I want you to know that we're okay. Thank you, situation, person, opportunity for growth, for the trigger. You can go, right? So the memories of the past, sometimes they come forward and we're like, oh my gosh, this feels gross. But it's not to re-feel that. You're coming home to yourself, which isn't that inauthentic part of self. That was the learning part, right? When you come home to self, you have the space and capacity for compassion to that aspect of self, okay? That's what these cards are for. That's what they're bringing them up for. Also, giving yourself lots of like the loving memories. You know, maybe there's like a transition right now where we're transitioning into a new home or a new place. We're doing a move or a new career or a new upgrade in a relationship. And we're looking back on the path of saying, I remember all these times. Or maybe we're at a place where like our child is graduating and we're going into a new phase. Like there's a new cycle coming in and you're like, oh my gosh, like saying goodbye to all these things. But it's not goodbye. You're left with the memories of it. Right? And that's what can come with you. You don't have to hold on to it. You've got the memories. But when you come home to yourself, it's all a part of the whole big thing. It's all a part of the whole big plan. Okay? So lots of nostalgic energy. Really, the whole overwhelming thing, though, is about coming home to yourself and being confident in who you are and knowing that you know exactly what to do next in this time of change. You can reminisce about the past, but you know exactly what to do. Because you know who you are and you know what you have to offer this world. You might not know exactly the specifics of what's coming up, right? That's okay. You don't need to. The moment is now. And when you illuminate that aspect of self that is confident in who they are, that's what the Three of Cups is you start to pull in the same type of authentic energies from others to co-collaborate to create something that is so vibrant and cohesive to who you are. Okay? That is the tarot. And then I'm going to pull one from the Angel Oracle. I love this. Please, from the beautiful light source and angelic realm, please pull through a message for our listeners today to take home with them. Gosh, I can't hardly see you guys. I got another concussion. I've had 3 major concussions in the last little bit, and this last concussion, like my eyes can't see properly anymore. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But this is number 32. You guys, I've never gotten this card before. This is crazy. So 32, 3 plus 2 is 5. That's change energy again. Or it could be like in 2 to 3, 3 to 2 weeks. 32 days. And then just take a look at the, I feel like I'm absolutely enthralled in the visuals of this card. So take a look at this card and really see what lights up for this for you. What shows up in the energy of this card that might resonate. There's colors, there's the visionaries. There's like, for me, it's almost like when I astral travel and I go through the kind of like, through time and space, it kind of looks like a tunnel, and this is like the colorful tunnel that it kind of looks like. So this is interesting. Okay, so let's read the guidebook and what it has to say. Michael Descent, number 32. Joyful empowerment is the theme. My protective light surrounds you. Accept it and let it flow into your heart. May it balance your body, mind, and perceptions and bring you great joy. There is no separation. We are one, as is heaven and earth. I am with you. I am a reflection of your soul. Let us celebrate the joy of living and embrace the totality of who we are. 2 souls within one beautiful spirit. You are much more than you know. You are the past, present, and future. Awaken to the empowering manifestation that is your true essence, and you shall experience pure joy. Beyond fear, there is only love. Wow. This is a really powerful card. And these words bring through a powerful, energetic integration into your higher self. So I would listen back to that again, because the words coming through are the direct message from Archangel Michael. And this message is from Archangel Michael to be integrated into your soul, into your spirit, to know the oneness of all that is, the interconnectedness of all that is. And so when we connect into that and we come home to ourselves, we like illuminate that connection of all source energy, so that there is no wrong choice. There is no good or bad. You move beyond fear and you move into that love source, because then when you move from here into here and you embrace that, there's no wrong choice. There's no wrong turn. You're just living in your power. And that is beautiful. That is like a really powerful, powerful card. So thank you, Spirit, for that. And let's leave us off on one last card for this animal oracle. If there's any animals that have come through in your visual reality, like your 3D humanness or in dream state, so starfish spirit. So if you have seen a starfish or the essence of a star, or the star comes up, this is for you. This is a validator, number 59. Again, 59 is 14, 4 plus 1 is 5. It's changed. There's 5s and 3s all over the place. There's change, and there is that essence and that knowing and that connection of all. And so change doesn't have to be chaos, especially when we are in our essence, when we are in our flow. Embrace change, because there's nothing else happening. When we are in our current moment and we are embracing the now, and we are moving into a place and time of change, which always is. It's ever flowing, ever moving energy. But we are in our lighthouse, our knowing. Like, you can't stop it. So open to infinite possibilities. This is. Oh, I like that. Open to infinite possibilities. This deck is so small because when I went to go buy it, I was told to buy this deck, and there's only the pocketbook, so it's just like tiny. So here we go. I didn't bring my glasses. I don't know if I'll be able to read this. I'll try really hard, okay? I have to remind myself to bring my glasses next time, because I used to be able to see, but now I can't. Okay. Open to infinite possibility. Oracle message. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. 3 of Wands. Okay. As you look out toward the horizon, do you open up to infinite possibility? That's literally the 3 of Wands. This is the same energy as the 3 of Wands, which we got, right? She was looking out. Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond your wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, Starfish Spirit urges you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone to dream of bigger things and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that Starfish Spirit has come to remind you of your infinite potential. Infinite potential. This is amazing, you guys. Standing in the light. And again, when you're receiving that and you know your infinite potential, you know your power, nobody can take that away from you. Okay? Anything that you've been fed that doesn't align with this infinite potential and the potentiality of all things, because we're connected to source, is a lie. It's a lie to keep us in a box. It's not true. And the more that you come into yourself and work from that, then the rest shows up for you. You don't need to look outside of yourself to figure out what to do next in this change. You need to stand in your ever knowing, receiving that light, and one foot in front of the other in that power. Nothing can stop you. I promise. This is really strong. Oh my God, I got goosebumps on my face. This was such a special, significant reading. I hope that it resonated, because I felt it. I felt it to my bones. Spirits were talking through me. I feel that I'm going to integrate this into my life because this is a really strong message. So I hope that you enjoyed your reading today. And make sure you tune in on Thursday because we have a very special Thoughtful Thursday coming up. And again, please like, subscribe, share. It helps the channel. We're trying to make it grow. And I love showing up every week for you. I love pulling through Spirit's message for you. And feedback is always appreciated as well. Okay, from my heart to yours and all the love that I have and that I share, stand in your light, everybody. Okay, change is here. Stand in your light. Your potential is infinite. I love you very, very much. And we will see you next week.